How we doing? Welcome back. So, it's been a day. I left the game running again for a little while, and apparently this train's just been slowly slurping up the iron plate here. And I was just looking... I just wanted to see... Are you still in balance? That's the real question. Because this whole setup did get a little wonky. So I want to see where things go wrong, if anywhere. So I'll just let you continue doing your thing. Yeah, the bots have been slowly expanding here. Building up all this. Hey, Veldek. Building things and stuff and junk. I did actually do as I promised and made a little crappy red circuit build. It looks like it's run out of plastic, though. Plastic? Oh, actually, there is actually an easy way out of this. That is to utilize the starter base plastic, actually. That's... Oh, actually, I'm standing here. I could just do it, do it myself. Fortunately, I don't have access to remote view. But we'll make do. So yeah, it's Friday today, which means the FFF will be coming out in, what is it, 2 hours, 20 minutes, something like that? Something around that time frame. Are you lacking coal? Yeah, of course you're lacking coal. It's interesting that, and also slightly hilarious, that it's still running on yellow belt, despite having yellow belt torn up. Quite literally years ago, at this point. 80 minutes, there you go. It's 7:41 at the minute, so it's 79 minutes away. 9 o'clock is the target, the destination. There we go, now we've got plastic going again. Oh, I think the iron train's in again. Yep, the iron train's in again. It's all being turned into gears. How we doing here? Haven't really progressed here that much. I mean, some of the belts, well, most of the belts have just slowly accumulated. But, yeah, that's sort of all it is for now. Oh no, actually. So what I was going to say was that I might finally need to deal with oil, but no. Plastic here means I don't need to deal with oil. So we can go back to rocket control units and continue that on. Let's have a look at... let's get over there and have a look at... the other thing that I need to look at. You know the thing. The thing that's not control units that also goes into rockets that's not oil-based. Yeah, real technical. Oh dear. Also, I need to make a copy of this. Like that. Clear that out the way. Come over here. Make a copy of that. Then paste it over the top of that, like so. And then paste a copy over that. Just like so. And make the train no path. Apparently we're now junking... fuel. No, we're not. We are junking things apparently though. It'd be nice if these were consistent. Why does it always load muted? Good question. Could be a skill issue. You never really know. Now you... Oh, there. All units. Yeah. Do you not have control units? In all seriousness, do you not have control units? No. Apparently not. It's a laser. It prevents you from hearing ads. Voice of the ads. Yep, apparently it's fallen out at some point. Alright, back to the point at hand. There. Yeah, just as you typed it. Oh, there you go, all my undergrounds. Didn't need those anyway. A near full house. For everyone so far. So far. Alright, Spideys, keep up the good work. Now this one is significantly more annoying to deal with. See, even I don't get the higher payout. But you do, AK. Actually, Nightbot does as well, for some reason. Only mods win. Kiwi birds get their traditional head drilling. Their mandatory head thumping. Actually, no. I was thinking it was low density structures, but we're actually doing control units here. I said you're special. I see. Does that not connect? Oh, that is a disaster I don't want to deal with. that is a wire mess. A very big beacon array? Oh yeah, this is what's that? How you doing, Derek? This is a significant array of low density structure production here. Yes, please bring me my stuff. Excited for the FFF? What goodies shall it bring today? Have I actually connected that distance? Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's like that in the first place. Bop. And bop. Oh yeah, I was going to ask you something too, Talon. I've forgotten what it was now. You just reminded me. What the hell was it? I can't remember. Oh, I'm sure it'll come back to me. Ooh, look at all those the boxes being sent. I mean, I could fix it so that it doesn't need them, because that's kind of obsolete now. That's an old optimization that doesn't really do any. I don't think does anything anymore. I'm just too lazy to change it. Yes, finish the belt. I was hoping that if I read it out aloud, it would occur to me, but apparently that wasn't enough to help jog my memory. That's the thing, I don't even remember what the topic was. I think it was AWS related. Mudkips. How was it? I think it might have been... Oh, it was a Simpsons episode question. Pirates. Yarr. Trouble is, I still can't remember what it was. Right, so what was it? It was red, green... It was an older one. It was, It was the, Oh, that's right. It was the... Do you remember of an episode where Lisa is reading off the ingredients of something and just like reads out something like sodium tridethimate, and I'm trying to remember what that's from. It was just reading off... It was like... I don't remember what it was. It was yeah... It was some product, and just reading off the ingredients, and it was just all these really terrible sounding things that were just, you know, deliberately terrible sounding. And I was like, what Simpsons episode is that from? Have I played Satisfactory yet? Not the 1.0... No, not yet. I haven't actually played Satisfactory in probably years now. Or at least a year. Oh wait, we're no splitters, so I can't do that. There's just so many of those little one-off Simpsons things. I think it's from one of the mid-2000s seasons, where that stuff tended to happen the most frequently. I mean, the classic one they always fall back on is the pie pants. Science? I didn't say science, I said pie pants. Pie pants. You know, classic one, that one. I mean, the rest of the episode is terrible, but it's just that one scene with the rocket makes up for it. Picked it up, and it's about what you expected. Has its own quirks and thought process. Yeah, I think we had the conversation about that yesterday, where, for me, my experience was it's more, well, my interpretation of it is it's more about the exploration than the hardcore factory building. Like, it's more about going out and finding things than building, you know, the hardcore factory building. I mean, you still can do it, and it still does kind of encourage you to do it, but it's not on the same level. Oh yeah, that's a 5. That's why it's like that. Did I? See, I've gone and made it a bit difficult for myself, because the unloader is actually supposed to be a double unload. Lack of map view, yeah, and the 3D world does somewhat hinder it as well. It makes it... I think there are more tools than there used to be for dealing with the elevation situation, but it's still a bit annoying. Did I actually just pick that up and put it back down in the exact same place? Yes, I did. It's not as good as Factorio, but it exists. That it does. It's also not about that ruthless factory must grow, I think is probably the best way to put it, what I was thinking of. Just so many little things that are missing in my life right now. That is so annoying to do in 1.1. And that's 2 tiles too long. That's why I couldn't do it yesterday. I knew something was up. So it just felt a little too easy yesterday, and now I know why. Balls. A 2D brain and it's all smooth. Yep, it exists in a plane, so there's no wrinkles to exist. It is smooth as a plane can be. Season 9, Episode 1 was banned? Really? Let's have a look. Oh, actually, let me move that out of the way first. Let's not do things that live. What the hell was Season 9, what, 97? City of New York versus Homer Simpson. What's wrong with that? City of New York versus Homer Simpson. I mean, it's not a very good episode. Yeah, I'll give it. But why is it banned? How? Oh, because of the trade centers. Yeah, but it was restored from syndication in 2006. So yeah, because of the trade center, the episode was taken off syndications from very. But yeah, returned in 2006. I don't think it was ever removed for us, because I remember this one being on pretty consistent circulation. The 9 and the Twin Towers making 9/11. That's contrived. That's some real contrived conspiracy, that is. Yeah, I mean, it had some okay. But yeah, it was meh. AK's making friends. The list you also see. Anyway, so yeah, I balls this up a little bit, to put it mildly. Exactly, Veldek. Exactly. So I got one either side. How long is this? This is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Could do something radical, absolutely radical, and do stuff. Uh, make it single-sided, but 6 inserters on one side. Oh, actually, I know. Another little tricksy that can be done. What I need to do... I actually don't really like it, but I'll try it, is the pick ghost. Because in early game, the ghost picker can be really annoying. It's more of an inconvenience than useful. So yeah, then it can sideload like that. What does that really get me though? It's the ultimate $64 question. So I gotta get 1, 2, 3, 4 belts through, and I still have room for 1, 2. So I don't have enough room for the belts. And this is where things get filed under future me problems. Because I did actually have a way of dealing with that. Yeah, something like that. Except that's a double unload. I mean, alternatively, I can just Control Z all of this crap. And then pretend it isn't an issue. And then rediscover that it is an issue later. That also works. Hey, that's all. Yeah, what I'll do is just ignore the problem and then come back to it later. That sounds like a good idea. Well, it's a plan with no foreseeable drawbacks. There we go. Continue doing the good work. Are we actually making belt also? Well, it's satisfied. I seem to have completely damaged how this works. Time passed. Go up there, please. And delete that. Yeah, pasting one over the top of the other probably wasn't the smartest move I ever did. Ever done did it. Because, yeah, it would have... Oh, yeah. So there will be 2... Yeah, there's 2 lots of circuits in here, that's why. Yeah. So that one needs to go away. Copy train logic in 2.0. So, in 2.0, if I can find it... This is going to be my go-to thing, is just to refer back to the FFFs now. It's either that one, or... yeah, I think it is that one. we have this. So this is 389 that we had back in December. We were talking about train schedule interrupts, where a train can trigger an interrupt when it's low on fuel and refuel itself. That's a tangent to what we're talking about though. But blah 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 blah. Train groups. The lack of train groups and the inability to edit multiple schedules all at once is annoying, but it wasn't that important before interrupts because you didn't really need to update or tweak existing schedules that much. Which is not really true, but we'll go on. But with interrupts and more generic trains, you need a way to update scheduled interrupts in all existing trains all the time. So obviously this had to be done. The approach was similar to what we do with grouping change, so logistics groups and interrupts. So we can assign trains to named groups. So you got different numbers of trains floating around in there. And then in this train menu, we now have train stations and the groups that they're associated with. See, we only have 2 tabs right now. So yeah, so if I had a PAX train group, if the tab existed, then I would be updating them all at the same time, and I wouldn't have to update all of them individually. It also eliminates the... what's it called? Not Fat Controller. Smarter Trains. Eliminates the Smarter Trains mod, although that mod's, even ever since this was created, Smarter Trains hasn't really had much of a need. What are you? Oh, you're that train. What are you carrying? Carrying wire? Oh, nuclear fuel. I saw the green and the wire and the coils. I was like, is that green circuit wire? I was very confused. I mean, yeah, you can copy settings, but it does get a little weird because when you paste over a station that already exists, it pastes the settings over the top of existing settings. And it, you know, just generally is quite annoying. Ah, you're fully stonked. Alright, so this also needs an unload. Now, I'm going to be smarter and actually grab these so that I do it right this time. Because, you know, that'd be smart and all. Yeah, these being, for lack of better terms, circuit trains, are gonna sit here for a fair while if they've only got, you know, 4 chests to unload to. Setting up trains, sorry, copying existing settings from one stop to another. Oh, you can't. You can know it'll copy the name over. I suppose I can rename it back, but it's the train settings that's like the copying the stop settings is easy. It's copying the train settings that's hard. Okay. So how did this work? Just go back to the reference material quickly. Not that. This. Yeah, see, I had 2 lots of double unloaders. Interesting, I actually did do that. Also interesting, They're split into twos. How am I doing? How you doing? So I probably need more unloads than if I did it that way. Split them in half. Rainbow Road had that full belt base. I do like the look of these kinds of belts. It does look good. Yeah, that's actually already 16. That's 3 16s. Interesting. Hang on. I need to go back here and double check. The 62 belts of green circuits. That was always fun. I suppose I can do it here. Apparently I didn't save it. No, didn't I do the benchmark on this? Or did I not do it? Yeah, you're also 40. I thought I did do this and then it came out with the correct number. Does anyone remember? Cast your mind back to yesterday. Did I actually go through this? You know, did we see... Yeah, we saw 6,400 come out of this thing. I'm sure of it. Out of this monstrosity. Also, stuff and junk. I suppose that's one way to get more plastic back to base. I thought about adding 7 TV emotes. 7 TV, or is that the new better TV, Twitch TV? Never really been motivated to do that. Oh, okay, yeah, it is the new BT TV. I get distracted so easily. Now I'm just doing the mowing. Because you need to have the plugin installed to actually use it. So I've never. That's why I've never really been like. It requires everyone to have it installed to make use of it. Oh, at break time. Yeah, not everyone has the ability to install it. Can you install it on mobile? I think is a real question. Because mobile dominates the market segment. I could actually tell you. No mobile? There you go. Where is... Oh, it's over here now, I think. I don't know where it is, where you can see views by platform. It's categories, content, milestone, summary. 51% follows, 10% browse. I know that much. I thought it used to show the breakdown of platform sources. Yeah, you gotta have, because you can't, or BTTV is, and all that's a browser extension, so you can't do it unless you're in browser on mobile. I know you used to be able to see the platform somewhere, but I don't know where it is now. But the number should be something like 52% at least mobile sources. Oh, it's under discovery. There it is. The stats that page that I'm familiar with. Views, follows, other channel pages, recommendation. Ah, featured. It is actually going there. 5% searches. Direct is just 60, not 62%, 97%. Uh, 42% mobile, 56% web. Okay, it's swung more towards web. Yeah, mobile's actually very very high up there. A lot of people watch on mobile. Yeah, whenever you get people that say, "Oh yeah, mobile isn't much of a thing," I mean, you don't see it as much now, but 6 years ago, people used to say that, and it was just wrong. They'd say, "Oh yeah, no one uses mobile. Mobile sucks," and it's like, well, more than half of people generally who are watching are on mobile, so. I mean, not in this specific case, but most of the time when you looked there, most people were rocking, like, to show what we're rocking upwards of 80–90% for, bigger channels. New mobile update was bad. Yeah, it wasn't great, was it? It's a bit of a confused mess, but it's very much... I am hopeful for it because it's just finding it. Realistically, it's just finding its feet. Because all of these products have been neglected for so long that they all need to be brought up to a standard. I'm stumbling a little bit trying to think of the right words. Trying to do difficult words while half asleep. Yeah, they need to work on it. They definitely need to work on it more. But the main thing is that they're actually doing something. As the crux of my point. Whereas before, everything was minimum effort. It was really just status quo circa 2015. Hello there, Tugger Bear. What was it, 48? So 16. Okay. So what that means is I need 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 right there, and 8 right there. Oh, that's going to be so annoying. If I don't fix this now and get it proper, it's going to be very annoying later. Increase coffee input, yeah. That sounds like a good idea. And what I might do with this one is thread the needle. Or will I do it the other side? That's could be where it's at. Yeah, I think other side might be the way to go. Alright, let's just digest that for a moment. Right, find the middle. So 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here. Right here is the middle. There. Should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yep. And wouldn't you know it? That's a blue circuit. That's a blue circuit. Red, green, blue again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the middle is there. More specifically, there. If I was feeling particularly enthusiastic, I would bring this over to here. Ready for autosave to kick in. Then if I'm consistent, these go all on this side. That's the only annoying part, is that because it's a... Oh, I suppose I can try and pull it one closer. It's gonna end badly, isn't it? I think I hit control then. Nope, we want that. We don't want the track. Yeah, just pull that. Pull one of those. It's gonna end badly, isn't it? So it's gap, and then there's a wagon, yeah. go. Alright. 2, 4, 6. Oh, 2, 4, 6. Is this vanilla? It's not straight vanilla, but it's pretty close to. If I was to bring up the mod list, so these are the mods that, well, it's not meant to be using bottleneck light, but yeah, additional paste settings, just so I can copy and paste combinators, auto deconstructor, help automate mining outposts. Equipment fix is a little thing that I did that does things that we'll get to. Hall of Fame only changes the title screen. Manly Death Scream is the best mod in the universe. The Honk we'll get to when it runs again. It basically just adds a goose an untitled Goose Game honk to the programmable speaker. Personal logistics template lets you put logistics into Spidertron's flib as for something, I forget which, it's just a utility. So yeah, it's basically vanilla, just with a few little things here and there. Yeah, and the equipment thing does changes these to 2.5 megawatts. Just because I don't want to be standing around waiting 10 centuries for it to recharge. It's raiding time from Maholic. How you doing, Maholic? How you looking? How you doing? Okay. So I'm just doing some intensive brain kajiggering right now. A few beacons? Yeah, 1 or 2. How many is that currently just in view? 1,300? So it's probably about 2,000 total. That wasn't very... Now here I am trying to brain things out, and I'm just doing things that aren't very smart. Hello again, autosave. How you doing today? I like to come by so frequently. Space exploration is basically vanilla, just a few new recipes, space travel also, but nothing really changes to the gameplay except everything. I mean, in my case, it actually is pretty close to vanilla. The game can be reverted to vanilla without any adverse effects. Nothing fundamentally changes the game. I mean, the only real indulgence is the equipment fix, but it's mainly just to help me not having to stand here for 5 minutes waiting for the robots to charge. Otherwise, like if I was just playing on my own, I would turn it off. It's just for the benefit of stream. You come there. Yeah, that's right. I was just trying to see where each thingy went. Make sure I'm sending it in the right direction. Why is that odd? It's probably fine. I mean, the hard part is actually building this thing. Right, you need to go there. Can you even reach across that? Can you do the reach around? No. I think that will be the most aesthetically pleasing combination. In which case I will need to break this up. Ta-da! Haha. I have this distinct impression that it's going to get rather unpleasant here. Trying to negotiate all these things. It's actually not too bad. To make it go there... should be okay. I do see some further problems coming. We'll see how we can deal with that. Doop. There we go. Because yeah, I've got to get 3 more blue belts of stuff in there. In an elegant way. Oh, that's no good. I just realized. That doesn't work. That's why, oh, that's why it's, showing up wrong. Because these need to be in between these two, so this is too low. Okay then. Which means this is too low. Which means I need to lift all of this up. There's enough room, just. Whether or not that justifies it, it remains to be seen. Yeah, that should be like that. Plus that. There. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, 4, 5. Actually come up there. There we go. You have faith in me? We have the power to believe. Nope, that's still too low. If you haven't seen it yet, it's too low. Yeah, this collides with that. So get that out of the way. I mean, if the smart money would actually have been to copy the already existing build from the original. That would have been smart. No, we already 8:35. It's already been like an hour. Ah. Never mind. I mean, I do need that extra lane space anyway. It does almost feel like it needs to slide over slightly to untangle that a little bit. Let's go back to the reference material. How did I do it? Loading, loading, loading. Always loading. It wasn't as warped. I think, yeah. I think because... Oh, yeah. I think because it's just narrower, it works out better. Possibly because I also put the other blue at the bottom. It just makes it look nicer. Oh, it is a little tangled and it's fine. I'll take it. I actually prefer it like this. Trouble is that one sort of needs it. And it has to peel off that one. Oh, hello, bots. Or delivering things. Problem is, yeah, I'd have to switch and then unswitch if I was to do it any other way. One and two. suppose it gets hard to justify the underground there as I go along. Also need to get these trains out somehow. Which is why I was thinking about laying this down, or laying the train vertically instead of horizontally. The answer might be to actually break up the builds a little bit, even after all that that we've gone through. Why does the pattern change? Where does it change? You're right, it does change. So it should not do that. And in fact, do that. That's better. Yeah, before I get too deep into building this, I might separate them. Trouble is, I don't know how much I need to separate it by. I suppose if I could run the trains, the output trains from low density up the middle, oh, that gets real messy. That's not nice. Nope, not playing Space Age yet. One tile to the left. A little to the left. Trouble is, again, this is an output crossing an input. Which is also problematic. I suppose I could just peel back the other way. Well, I'm planning to have stackers underneath, actually. Just think about it, whatever you need, quadruple it, move it later, and it wasn't enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. Damaged one. I wonder how that happened. The trouble is now going to build this monstrosity eventually. Thank you, autosave. I think, yeah, just keep going on with, carrying on with, as we did before. That's actually another part of the pattern that also changed over here. So I didn't mix these together. So in theory that should go there. Which means instead of coming along there, needs to drop down into there. Or would it in fact do that? That eliminates that. And you in fact go down that way to there. And this is where I get confused. I need to stop touching the scroll wheel too. He says as he touches the scroll wheel. It's a bad habit scrolling in and out. Makes you all motion sick. There's nothing better than watching someone and they're just zooming in and out, in and out, in and out, because they're just rolling the wheel back and forth. Case in point. Why is there one less? I'm just trying to see the one that's doubled up. Like, it's obviously meant to be like that. This is, say worse, Minecraft YouTubers who can't stand still while they talk. Oh yeah, and they're constantly punching the air and jumping up and down. Got the intensive ADHD going. And or the panning, you know, up, down, up, down, up, down, or, you know, swinging up, swing down, swing up, swing down. It's pain, it is, it's pain. Ah, it doesn't matter. That one. Still confused as to where the extra line is. From over there, you contribute there. You... Ah, there it is. There it is. I mean, I knew it had to be there somewhere. So you and you go into there. You and you... You go into there. And then lastly, you and you go into there. Oh, 10 minutes to FFF. Hey, Kill Bill, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's fine. I think that's fine, visually. I mean, there is only so much I can do. He rolls the mouse wheel again. And again. Boop. And bump. Bap. Flap. Oh, that one. I was like, wait, why won't it fit? Because I'm looking at the wrong one. Whee! Calm down, game. Calm down. Here we go. I think it'll actually switch anyway, so I don't know why I bothered doing that. Yeah, similar story. Oh yeah, so remember how I was complaining about we had the problem with the music not working. So that driver install where it installed Arc through Windows Update randomly last stream fixed it. It was actually kind of hilarious because I uninstalled Arc with the Arc Control Center with prejudice because it was pegging the CPU constantly. I don't like the gamery control centers because they don't really do anything anymore. They're just all, for lack of a better term, bloated bling that just burdens the PC. The old NVIDIA control panel and Catalyst Control Center, back when they were just basic window things, were fine. Things like GeForce Experience and the AMD one, just ridiculous now. Look out, ad starting soon. Let's go to the left one. Which is the inner one. You know, the inner one. Inner goes to inner. Inner also being the inner of this, so if this was green, this would also be green. And so we'll go to the home of the greens over there. So do that. You go there, you go there. You don't go there. Go there. You go there. So the last top one should be along there, and it is. Alrighty, you descend across to there. Heal up as soon as you can. Hello, ad break. That's a little more annoying. bottom of that goes across there. Of course, we need to add the one tile gap. So. Why is that different? Yeah, that's the bottom layer. It's just a matter of me... Yeah, it is quite literally a matter of me dropping all of this one tile to make it work better. Yeah, and that divides it a little bit. I mean, it's debatable if it's necessary, but eh. So, check food. What check foods I have during the visit? The most notable one. Do I have access to standby? I actually had quite a few things. The I don't even know what it was, whether it was lamb or beef or what. Let me just do that for a moment. Yes, yes. There was this. There. That was one of the things we had. So the thing is, as I say, I forget what that was. And then the whipped cranberries underneath with whipped cream on top, and then the gravy. This was really nice. But I had similar things to this pretty much every day. This was at the restaurant. On the second last day or last day? One of those days. Was also the burger. The burger was great. I actually haven't really shown any photos of it. I do actually have a lot of photos. It was beef? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was beef. Yeah, this place was really nice. Oh yeah. There was that as well. The burning fiberglass golf with the butterfly sticker on the cap. I thought that was funny. The butterfly sticker it just really makes it, doesn't it? And someone stole the rear wiper. It was a good times. That actually reminds me, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There. Further back. No, it's not there. I cannot for the life of me see it. What I'm looking for. It's a very important picture. I mean, there was a lot of stuff. That's not... That was just me taking a picture of where... So one of the things I did when I went for my walk around town was I took pictures of where I'd come from and where I was going. So it was like that was coming out of the park, and then that was sort of looking back into it. Just an interesting little monument thing there. Interesting FFF. Oh yeah, it's FFF time. It's also tram time. And where is it? There. That was a burger. We actually went to the same place twice. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna make me grumble, 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 grumble. You're gonna trick me into closing Factorio, you are. Stupid thing. What do we got? Ah! Number 429. The Volcanus Demolisher enemies. Welcome back to Volcanus. It's been a while. Yeah, Burger. You place your new prototype big mining drills, the pinnacle of resource extraction technology, on the closest tungsten deposit to your fledgling Volcanus factory. A few power poles later, and they are happily mining away, providing a new, consistent source of valuable tungsten. A rail ramp and station just about fit in the area too, without any rail support in your inventory. That line isn't going anywhere too soon. Transport belts will have to do for now. Just on that note, because of the nature of Volcanus, elevated rails are highly recommended to take there. Was the burger as good as on your past burger pictures? It was amazing. You head back towards the mining site. Across the river of lava, you see a truly gargantuan creature snake its way around a volcano. The formidable beast most closely resembles a centipede or a millipede, but is larger than a train. As it moves forward, the ground at its face is broken apart, leaving a trail of torn up rock and patchy lava. Trees, rocks, even cliffs are torn apart by its passage. Ash is flung into the air, making an abrasive cloud that blankets its body and lingers long after it has moved on. The creature roars and speeds up. As it does so, it starts shaking the ground harder. Rhythmic vibrations agitate a wide area, kicking up a huge cloud of ash and destabilizing the terrain. Here is our precious mining tools. There's the rail ramp. Here it comes. Agitated by being tickled by the gun turrets. Bye-bye outpost. Oh, it's come round for another pass. Not done yet. Look at the cloud coming around it too, coming out from around it. Now that's some devastation. That is a huge biter. Gotta love the, I mean, I have the other music on top of it, but you gotta love the Volcanus music. There's the YouTube 4K version. The worm from Dune. The creature cruises over the lava river and demolishes your machines without even slowing. Your precious new mining drills that seemed so large and powerful just moments ago look like puny toys in the face of such an unfathomable beast. Demolisher continues its path of destruction down the line of transport belts towards your base. But before getting there, it slows to a crawl and turns back to the volcanic wastelands. This attack won't go unanswered. It's time for a fight. You pursue the Demolisher, an easy task given its thick glowing trail. On either side of you forces you to cross through the trail and pursue the creature. The torn up terrain is hot, but there are enough cool rock sections to step across. As you do, the lingering ash cloud obscures your vision and the abrasive particles interfere with your exoskeleton equipment. So its trail slows you down is what I'm hearing. And the torn up ground does damage to you. Hey, T-Hacks. You catch sight of the body again, this time up close. The thickly armoured plates of each segment seem to give it a good protection from the heat, and probably many of your weapons hasn't reacted to it yet. Perhaps it has not seen you, perhaps it does not care. You move towards the Demolisher's head, and it still ignores you. The face appears to be a clear weak spot. It has no eyes. The skin still seemed adapted for the heat, but the armor is much thinner around the jaws. Bracing yourself for a reaction, you shine your lasers at its face, but nothing. It continues to patrol the same path, as though you were nothing but a speck of dust in the wind. A rocket to the face would surely provoke it, but before testing that theory, you place a line of landmines to secure your retreat. There's an immediate reaction from the creature. It speeds up and turns towards you. Once again, rhythmic vibrations shake the terrain, and gradually and steadily expanding cloud of ash. The cloud quickly encompasses you. Obscured visions, snagged exoskeleton joints will limit your speed. You fire your submachine gun at the creature. The piercing rounds cut through into the Demolisher, doing some damage, but by the time you reload the magazine, all the damage you dealt has healed back. I mean, visually, I don't know how you would observe that if you're actually doing it, but sure. So it barely bothers it, the bullets. You try again for a few moments, inflicting some damage, but again, it seems to heal faster than you can deal damage. Vibrations coming from the creature seem to focus and amplify around you, destabilizing the ground even more. The crust is thin, and at best of times, this isn't helping. A fissure starts to open up under your feet. You manage to dodge the side of a volcanic eruption as it explodes in your area that you stood moments ago. The rock fragments, lava, hot gases shred the area. You avoid the main blast, but just being close to the edge was enough to weaken your shields. We have another video. There's the trail. A little bit of pew-pews. Yep, running across slows you down. Ah, yeah, see, you've got the cloud effect. There it is. Huge boy. Yep. There goes the, the explosions, there's the fishes. What did I walk back? What did you walk back on? The FFF. The new visors. Oh, you can actually see the terrain glow red as it's about to explode. Yeah, the defenders, they do nothing. Gee, you could really get snagged on the cliffs too. Spicy sausage. There you go. New fissures start to open up around you. These are easier to dodge now that you know to look for the fissures signs in the ground. Yeah, the red glowing. Standing far enough from the eruption is completely safe, but now you need to stay on your toes. Demolisher plows through the line of landmines, does not slow as it does so. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I wasn't paying attention, but apparently it cuts through cliffs. Can't actually tell. Yep, there it is. It's deleting cliffs. There you go. It's you could use that as a cliffs destroying sausage. Yeah, it's cliff explosives. It's poor man's cliff explosives. Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit threatening to your life. But yeah, you can deal with the Volcanus, the oppressive Volcanus cliffs with it. More distracted, you fail to dodge a new volcanic eruption. The fissure erupts directly beneath, shattering your shield, blanketing you in fire. Power armor stops you from getting too singed, but another hit like that would be certain death. There's not a fight you can win. You switch all your focus on dodging the eruptions and moving away. A few seconds after you stop firing, the Demolisher slows down and turns back. That's 2 wins for the Demolisher, but you'll live another day. A segmented enemy. The Demolisher is largely defined by our wish to have a very large enemy in the game. That's a nice goal to have. I actually appreciate that the enemies on the other worlds are reasonably different. You know, recycling the Spidertron to make pentapods is really cool, and then to just have something just absolutely gargantuan is really cool and unique as well. As explained in Gleber enemies post, the larger a creature is, the more problematic it is for sprite sheets. For conventional enemy, it is width times height times directions animation frames. Width and height are automatically larger, and generally a larger creature needs more direction to animation frames to look good, so conventional enemies don't scale well. We identified early that a segmented enemy as one of the ways we could have a large enemy, because in theory we would only need 1 animation frame. It would need more directions than normal to have smooth movement, but that's the same as a train. So basically... so we've got Spidertron enemy, now we've got train enemy. There you go, train enemy. So what's the third one? And fourth one? In the earliest, most basic, text-only draft of the enemy times, we only had a basic category of animation method or movement. I won't list all the types we were considering, but it included leggy enemies and segmented enemy. We didn't know which type we would go through. For a while, the segmented enemy was going to be on Fagola. This is Fungola, or Fulgola, or Fungola, as I prefer. What could they be? Indeed. This is because we knew the Fagola landscape would have islands, so it made sense the segmented enemy would be able to cruise between the spaces and the islands and give unbroken range. This would be another reason not to build in the quicksand. One of the problems with this is the Dune franchise. We ended up in the segmented enemy on sand direction by following the natural progression of constraints, but most people wouldn't see that, would see that and assume it was based on Dune anyway. And it doesn't have the same unique, exciting feel, and it's too close to something you've seen before. That's a good choice. A55. And play. That's actually a good choice. Having a volcanic centipede is better than just doing a sand dune worm from the previous. Well, we'll see. We've got quite a bit to go. After I'd finished up the main prototype Space Age, shift to focus on the enemies. I made a branch of the game just for prototyping enemies, never to be merged into the game, just to prove out concepts, and get something tangible for further discussions. And enemies sandpit. Leggy enemies went to Gleber. We didn't know if we wanted to be more Stomper or Strafer, so added both options, expecting one to be chosen. In the end, both survived the cut. You even got the little wrigglers as well. So not only did you do both on expecting one, you got both plus bonus wrigglers. Yeah, the tank thing you're talking about. The segmented enemy went to the volcanic planet. We didn't know exactly what it would do, so it was provisionally called things like Forge Worm, Magma Worm, and Lava Slug. The implementation of this prototype was basically a conga line of tanks with some clever code to make them follow the leader while adding sinusoidal movement. The leader in this case was a unit, basically a giant biter, that already has the necessary attack logic there. So it's a biter with tanks attached. Testing the animation principle of fire, blood splash. Oh, okay. It's a big boy? Oh, it's a biggie boy. Design. Moving the segment enemies on the planet that mostly had land had a lot of consequences for the graphic. If the creature was deep in water or sand, it would have to reasonable... Then it would be reasonable to have most of the creature hidden below the surface, or would only see a few segments above the surface and the gaps between their head. back hump and repeat, gap tail, blah blah blah. On the volcanic planet, we need to show all of the body above the surface at some point. That removes the ability to have gaps between the segments. To start with, I was leaning more towards the Demolisher being much more alien, a creature that is barely biological as far as we'd recognise. Something potentially nuclear powered that acts more like a force of nature as it scoops heavy isotopes from the soil. There were, of course, some more conventional options too. So we're calling it the Biter Train. So we had the Biter Spidertron, now we've got the Biter Train. I suppose that leaves room for a Biter Tank. That acts like a force of nature. Yeah, we read that. So we've got one with tentacle eyeballs. I think that's close to the final one. Similar to that. More like a slug. Yeah. Yeah, something like that there or that there. Biter tank train. Yeah, it's the Biter artillery train. Ah, yes, drawing a circle. Albert wanted the enemies to be less alien and more Earth-inspired, so things progressed in the direction more inspired by a centipede or a millipede. The segmented unit had problems with sprite layering. By default, if a segment is further south and another segment, then it's sorted in front. When sections of the body are rotating around a corner, the segments facing east-west overlapping. So a segment pops in front of another one. A way to bypass this problem is by having every segment separated by a 45-degree slice, so that Factorio camera angle tail segment can always be sorted under the segment before it. Made a Demolisher model with the 45-degree slices to prove the overlapping theory would work, but also to prove that it's still possible to get an aesthetic design with this approach. Looks cool. Does look cool as it's snaking around. Straight from Blender, note that even the creature is going north, the head can be drawn over other body parts. Yeah, so it's not overlapping incorrectly. This was a big hit, so the final concept art version of the head was made to give direction for the materials. Yeah, that is huge. Look at the trees. That's huge. It's, they did draw the similarities with Dune before. Yeah, but it's a giant surface-going volcanic worm centipede thing. Design was signed off and sent to Jersey for extra detailing and texturing, then Lucas for some final adjustments. Thanks to Strange Pan, the Demolisher was soon in the game. The initial Demolisher in the game was a basic implementation. The only weapon that was firmly decided on was the face would do impact damage. There was lots of ideas floating around too. That really does give credence to it being a lava train. A Biter train. For a while, the decreased weapon was going... The decreed weapon was going to be that the Demolisher would have underground children that would pop up like worm turrets and shoot at things. We didn't go for that for various reasons. That actually sounds boring. This left the Demolisher stranded in the following state. It didn't have any weapons except for face hitting you. Face tanking. It was fast enough to catch you without exoskeletons, so if you didn't have them and you attracted attention, you automatically die. Yes, not great. You had enough exos, though, it just can't catch you, so there's no risk. It had a staggering number of hit points combined with resistances. It took about 3 minutes of continuous fire from an automatic shotgun firing at the face to die. Using rockets instead was about the same. That's a lot of hit points. Exterm's still going to be able... He's going to be the underworm inspector. Fun fact, he already has. It has a staggering... the main strategy to kill it was extremely boring. Just run around in a circle for 3 minutes until it dies, or you run out of ammo. If you do run out of ammo, collect more and continue. There are other ways to kill it too, but they're even slower but more resource efficient, or slightly faster but require way more preparation. Yeah, it just sounds unfun. New playthrough name Underworm will feature various vampire-like mods. New redeem teleport to nearest Demolisher. In front of nearest Demolisher. To start, I drastically reduced the health of Demolisher from 80,000 to 80,000 to 30,000 and reduced the resistances. In particular, the flat reduction to damage makes the attacks have barely any effect. This took the expected time to kill with a decent damage rate from minutes to seconds. The main difficulty in killing the worm was now dealing with a very high regeneration rate. of 1500 hit points per second. This meant that when you're fighting it, you can either beat its healing with your damage rate and it dies quickly, or you can't and you need to run away. Yeah, it's going to be very it's going to be very binary. Either you out DPS the healing or you don't, and you don't bother. Either way, the fight's over quickly. It doesn't waste your time, and both situations, it's interesting. Teleported over 3 planets, yeah. Came up with 11 ideas for weapons. Solid number. Both effective and fun. After talking with some people more, we managed to get the list down to, of good options down to 213. I hesitated there because I was like, where did I get down from? A lot of the ideas were designed to be used in conjunction, so it included things ranging from flaming blood splashback to flamethrower holes in the side, subterranean shockwave attacks. With the definitive list of options, there was a meeting to decide on a set that would work well together. So, Lava Tongue, Lava Spit, Eye of Celeron, Homing Magma, yeah, that's the explosion, and then... does it actually say... Oh, that is the shockwave. Yeah, that's the Fisher. Power Glove for the one punch. 2 main abilities. The Demolisher would have a raw or shockwave attack. If the shockwave hit you, you would be stunned or slowed. Yep. This would kick up a cloud of ash, and the shockwave travels. The cloud would have a small slow effect. The main intention for the cloud can't be disclosed yet, but if Volcanus is your first planet, the additional effect won't affect you. Wait. The cloud will have a small slow effect. The main intention for the cloud can't be disclosed yet. Rahims! Warning. The cloud intention can't be disclosed yet. Ah. Demolisher would seismically trigger volcanic eruptions around chosen target moving nearby. This means that when you're in combat with the creature, there's still some amount of threat. You're not 100% safe by just avoiding the head. Seemed like a good starting point, but Kvorix was away and not part of the discussion, so we just had to hope that he'd be on board. Ah, yes. And with a plan when he got back. I developed 2 concepts and extended a little bit to work together. Yeah. What was that? Just let it run around the workforce spawn location. Yeah, spawn a Demolisher in the base. Yeah, you'd hate for that to happen. As I developed the 2 concepts, extended them a little bit more to work together. The eruptions changed to be more engaging by showing the place where they explode ahead of time. This makes sense graphically, but mainly it makes sense to make the battle a whole lot more interactive. The explosion damage can be far higher with the assumption that the explosions won't hit. That's also great to make them a genuine threat. Maybe disable shield that you won't have. Oh, you should have. Well, you will have shields, as because as we saw before, it was describing the player having shields, and shields are only red-green. The first shield's red-green or red-green military. Basic shields are cheap anyway currently. Disable the better reactor. Maybe. Don't know. I actually don't. I haven't actually ever seen the better reactor. The final game the fusion reactor stuff. Never got to play with it. The real game balance reason... Oh, hang on. The explosions are only used against moving targets. The law is that for this is that it detects the vibrations in the ground made by moving targets, so it's easy to aim eruptions at those. Also that it doesn't consider static things to be much of a threat. The real game balance reason is that players' health with shields is much higher than turret health, so if turrets are targeted by explosions they die too quickly and removes too many strategies from being viable. Instead of not caring about your position, other than not getting flattened by the head, you actually need to move around to different parts of the ground to become more unstable. It feels more like a boss fight. If you're underpowered, every explosion counts, and you need to dodge a lot if you're overpowered. Man, you just need to make sure you don't take any direct hits in quick succession. Only a small amount of occasional movement is needed for that. Yeah, I missed that bit. For the shockwave ash cloud, it's being a stun was either too punishing if you get caught close to the head or near an eruption, or irrelevant in other cases. I changed it to be more more of a persistent slow, but not a slow in the way other slow in the game work. What? Changed it to be more of a persistent slow, but it's not slow in a way that other slows in the game work. Instead of being a flat percent reduction, it's more like a max speed with percent effectiveness. If you don't have any exoskeletons, then you're barely affected, but if you have loads of exoskeletons, it will take the most away back to your natural speed. Okay, I get that now. Keeping the range of player speeds to a slower, more narrow range is also an important change for a few reasons. Demolisher speed can be much lower too, so that the player is always slightly faster and can escape. So it always keeps you a little bit faster. Derpamu, hello. As part of the branch, also added various visuals for the ash cloud, trail effects, placeholder eruption effects. This branch was made while Kavarox was away, so we weren't sure what he would think of it. Demolisher combat was something that had resisted agreed consensus for over a year at that point. Towards the end of the work on the branch, the work started to represent a large investment of ours, which wasn't ideal for something that wasn't at all signed off of. But deadlines were looming and things just need to be done. Fortunately, when he got back, it got all signed off shortly before the LAN playtesting event, so it was playable for the playtesters. However, there wasn't time for all of his scripted Lua code to get ported to C++, meaning that we have 100 plus people playing with code that was never meant to exist outside of an experimental branch. Just as a side note for that, it did lead to some hilarious side effects. And we were actually aware at the LAN that the Demolishers had only just been added to the game. And we were, at least that I know of, were accepting of that. We were appreciating the effort and the limitations. Territories. The territory system is a completely new mechanic. I designed a system that uses Varoldi noise to make distinct regions that Demolishers can claim and protect. You build in a Demolisher territory, it will get annoyed and earn its name. Hello there, Derpamu. Pamu? Either way. The system was built by Strangepan and Yenis. Demolishers patrol near the edge of their territory, and you can see these patrol paths from decoratives on the ground. Work in progress. You can also see the Demolisher territories on the map. So here we have our territories. That is the land that they claim. Someone said on stream or something about one-shotting something, I guess this thing. Demolishers are going full seagull mode. Mine. It's more like boom, 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 boom. Orthogonal lines mark the territory edges, and the Demolisher patrol path is close to that edge. Areas with the diagonal red lines are the danger zones. So... oh, there's a Demolisher there. A little snacky snack. And yeah, oh, there's another one there. So yeah, it's patrolling. You can see them patrolling the edges. The planet's starting coal, calcite, sulfuric acid, and most of the starting ashlands regions are not covered by Demolisher's territories. Conveniently, the spawn area is by the free zone, so it's also Demolisher free zone. There's a bit of reuse there. I have a feeling there's been a Demolisher deleted there, and probably there too, given that it chips into there. The starting tungsten patch is in the territory of a small demolisher. Oh dear. The starting tungsten patch is in the territory of a small demolisher. So to get the planet's science pack, you'll either need to defeat it or engage some guerrilla mining operations. Just deploy a patch and then pack it up when the demolisher comes. We're considering adjusting the rules for which building in a territory provoke an attack because we have some options such as all structures, the current rule, active structures, or only mining structures. Demolishers don't have spawners. The whole creature spawns directly on the map. If you kill one of these ancient creatures, their territory becomes yours permanently. There is no pollution. There we go. We have confirmation. Smallisher. Smallisher. You win the internet today. Yeah, so we have confirmation. No pollution on Volcanus at all. There is no evolution as well. Demolisher size is only controlled by distance from starting area. Interesting. I mean, no pollution on Volcanus was kind of a given. The thing that I always predicted was something like the Gleba smelly thing. I was going to say smelly thing, but no, it's not the smelly thing. The thing that attracts the pentapods. The tasties, the snacks. The smell of food. I actually imagined it would be something like that, like maybe even something destructive. Oh no, no. Someone else suggested destructive. Having something that causes passive damage has specifically been called out as something that Kovarex won't allow because it's not good. It's not fun. Smell of food, Exterm appears. You are the food when you get there. Yeah, you are. Hello, server not responding. Very good. So combat testing. What is that? That is big demolisher destruction. That's significant. Big demolisher, I found many ways to kill all sizes of demolisher at all tech levels within reason, but every successful way, there are many more unsuccessful ways. I was looking forward to people encountering demolishers during their playtesting events, so I joined different servers to watch their first encounters. I'd estimate that at least 60% of players survive their first encounter just by panicking and immediately running away. For players that tried to fight, I didn't see anyone get a kill on their first try, only 25% survived on their first try. And look on gifting that sub, thank you very much. Doing your part to start the weekend off. Thank you very much for that. And another one. Gifting 2 subs there. Is it 2 subs or... I don't know, went off. Anyway, thank you for that. Very much for that gifted sub. Yeah, why did it go off twice? Yeah, I looked over at the things and it says there's only 1, not 2. Why did it do 2? But yeah. Sure, thank you very much. Veldak's already all on top of the snugs, loves and hypes and everything. But sure. But thank you very much for the gifted sub and all that jazz, apparently. I guess now someone's got to pay it forward. Gift one forward. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah, 25% survived on their first try. Every server killed at least 1 demolisher, but the ways this happened was wildly different. Players even found one way that I didn't even think would work, but I don't want to spoil successful strategies. Big demolishers are much more difficult to kill. There are ways to do it early game, but it's not easy and it's a big investment. For many players, I expect them to wait for tech from other planets before killing demolishers. Nope, there it is. The thing just popped up. There it is. There the sound popped up. Very much for the self sub. Now I have access to the best koala emotes on Twitch. Also, words. Hello there, Solwolf. Big demolishers, blah blah blah. The ways of a big investment, yeah. So look at the size of that thing, by the way. Hey, Hopewell. Yeah, look at the size of this thing. This thing is monstrous. Combat clarity improvements. We're continuing to update the balance, but right now the biggest problem is not with the combat stats themselves, but with the transparency and feedback to the player. For example, at the moment you click a segment of the Factorio Veldeck gifting a sub. Thank you very much for that. You're actually bringing the thingy up to 7 out of 10. And you've also started up the level 1 hype train. I was very confused by that, but it's actually gifted us a tier 1 sub to tier 1 sub. I don't even know how that works. I'm sure. Moving swiftly along. So yeah, the body resistances, but you need to click on the head to see the head resistance. Yeah, so if you alt-click on the segment, Factoriopedia shows the body resistances, but you need to click on the head to see the head resistances. Okay, so you get two different things when you look it up in the Factoriopedia. Ideally, all body parts link to the same page, which can show you both sets of resistances. Likewise, we need to clarify somewhere that segments take damage individually, but all damage is transferred to the creature as a whole, which is in reality, which is really the head in reality. Hopewell gifting the tier 2 sub to tier 2 sub. Oh dear. I'm not sure if that's a placeholder for anonymous. Oh dear. But it's also 9 out of 10 now, because the tier 2 was worth 2 sub points. And a level 2 hype train. Just one more, and you get the 10 out of 10. They are actual real Twitch names, okay. Sure. What are you two up to at this point, is what I'm wondering. Pat the chonker with the mouse pointer to see the resistance. Yes. Pet the chonky boy. That can go well. Alright, what I was trying to read here. Demolishers have no resistance to poison capsules. Snaka gifting a sub. Bam! 10 out of 10. Unfortunately, it doesn't bring up to 3 out of 3. Go off twice. Things are just broken all round. The name doesn't exist, you can't give a gift sub to it. Yeah, if the name exists, you can gift it. Because you're worth it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Veldeck gifting another sub. Hey, 11 out of 10. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, so kind. Maybe it's Tucker Bear. Level 2's complete. I think it just missed out on bumping it to level 3. Oh no, it did bump it to level 3. Alright, let's continue reading. Demolishers have no resistance to poison capsules. It's not a hint to use poison capsules, it's just because poison damage is so weak compared to other damage types that adding a resistance doesn't make sense. The problem is that if you test one poison capsule on Demolisher, it looks like no damage is dealt because the regeneration is higher than the damage of a few poison capsules, even if they hit multiple segments, so the damage is healed instantly. And Veldeck gifting another sub. Thank you very much for that. 12 out of 10. Very good. Unfortunately, the next one will be 13 out of 10. So 12 out of 10 would then be, and Solo of subscribing for 59. Bringing that halfway through the level 3 hype train and bringing that up to... Actually, I don't think that counts towards the thingy. Does it bring it to 13? No, it's a new sub point goal, so it only increments new ones. Yeah, so you can't use... It's a hint to use... It's not a hint to use poison capsules. It's just because poison damage... So, yeah. What I'm taking from that is... You gotta wonder if those randomized active people show up in the live stream at some point. Or just bots, probably. Just bot names. So... The thing that I'm immediately seeing is that the poison is a slow... Like, it's a low but consistent damage over time. So, although the poison capsules on their own don't negate the healing, or like they don't overcome the healing, if you use it in combination with ammo, so the ammo on itself isn't enough, but the poison capsules with your ammo is enough to overcome the insane healing. So, you know, spam a bunch of poison capsules and then shoot it with piercing rounds might be enough. Is sort of what I'm hearing, is that you need to use poison capsules in combination with something. Like, you need to think some strategy, which is, again, what you're talking about, what the FFF was talking about earlier. You know, you need to use strategy, and it's a boss fight. You need to use strategy and combinations of things. You can't just come in and out DPS it just with PLDs or whatever. I mean, you saw the video. The PLDs just tickle it. It doesn't even care. So the problem is if you test one poison capsule, looks like no damage is dealt. But I mean, do you ever use one poison capsule? If you want, you're going to use poison capsules on trees, and you're going to use 3 of them. So at the bare minimum, you're going to use at least 3 on a Demolisher. It looks like no damage is dealt because regeneration does higher damage than the poison capsules. If they hit multiple percent, the damage is healed instantly. Health bar doesn't even reappear. The reality is that they do offset some of the regeneration, but that isn't communicated. If we make the health bar linger for a moment after any damage, then it will make the situation clearer. These are sort of small adjustments we will be making over the coming weeks. Ah, okay. How many pots is needed to easily kill a small Demolisher? I mean, I'd park that idea for now. Solar with the 95 bits. Thank you very much for that. Just a little itty bitty bitties. And -1, so deal damage to yourself. Self-harm. Kind of damage. It just all the pots. I mean, when it comes to military tech, the more pots you throw at it, the easier it gets. Unlike other planets where the expectation is that a casual defense usually win on Volcanus, casual defenses will usually lose. Makes sense. That's fine, because generally they're not a threat to your base. Only new expansion. Yeah, you don't need defenses on Volcanus because they're territorial. You're not defending territory. They only care about their own territory, not yours. So there's no point building defenses. So if you want an expansion, you need to take over their territory, not build defense. It's purely offensive. There's no defense, is what I'm trying to say. Also, on Volcanus, most of what you're building in Outpost is a sort of free stuff from lava anyway, so being demolished by demolishers is not a big loss. There is no need to build perimeter walls, a typical line of turrets. And a typical line of turrets is one of the worst formations you can make because the Demolisher will cruise straight down. Yeah, just run over it, squash it like a giant biter train. Demo hunt. First thing. A snake that dies or runs into itself. I imagine it can't. No, this is the biter. So we've had biter biters, then we've had Spidertron biters. Now we have train biters. From playtesting, there's mixed sentiment on their difficulty level. Some players feel the Demolishers are overpowered, and some think they are in a good place. If Demolishers were a conventional enemy, then they would be too strong at the current level. But the fact is, they are not conventional enemy due to the territory system. They don't attack your base the way other enemies do. Maybe the eruptions are a bit too lethal, but we can adjust that. Overall, difficulty seems to be okay because you have a lot of options and you are given the space and time to find the option that's best for you. Yeah, as long as you can attack them on your own time because they're territorial. They don't attack you, so there isn't an existential threat that you need. Like, there isn't a ticking clock that you need to race against. You can conquer the Demolisher and therefore your territory in your own time. So yeah. The overall difficulty is okay. Yeah, a good combination of personal weapons and with well-executed combat, a static defense strategy that can be reused for multiple territories by luring distant enemies, import special weapons from other planets, which I sort of predicted. Tesla, that we saw in the previous. You're gonna when I made this comment with JD in the JD. When whenever the PLD nerf FFF happened, I mentioned that I don't think it really affects anything, and because I was saying people aren't accounting for the new weapons that we introduced in the previous FFF, the Tesla weapons, the rocket turrets, and so on and so forth. So, no, like, you're losing. You might be losing PLDs, but you still have the Tesla gun, which I imagine is, I haven't actually used it again, is also incredibly powerful. Does it say specifically what demolishers are resistant to? So the FFF hasn't listed anything specifically, but the implication is, from what we've seen, they are highly resistant to rockets. They are completely oblivious to PLDs, which is what they said at the top. Poison they have no resistance to poison, but it barely negates it. The implication is, being a fire snake train biter, they won't care about fire, so flame turrets are out. I mean, that was always predicted, that it would be fireproof biters, whatever it would be. I can't think of anything else. If there was anything else, you can list them. That were in the FFF, that is. I don't mean you list them, Flay. In before flame turrets are flamethrowers actually heal. There's the negative damage. Wait for more damage upgrade text. Yeah, that's my strategy. Is just get more damage upgrades. Demolisher combat can be fun and strategic. Each one is a boss fight to unlock a new territory. Yeah, it's actually really cool. I like the idea. It's new and different. Demolishers are definitely the toughest enemies in the game, with something which first seemed impossible to kill can later be killed quickly and efficiently due to a well-executed plan. It is very satisfying. Some would call it satisfactory. There, I did it. And anyway, face tank and every obstacle and leave your thoughts in the usual places. Whee! Snaky train. The fire-breathing version, the giant chonky boy. The circle. And the videos. And there you go. Yeah, this is nice. I like this. I actually like that the new planets introduce it's not just new reskinned biters. We're getting enemies that have unique characteristics, behavior, new not characteristics, but like new you know, the driving force for the aggression, like new mechanism. Well, I suppose the smelly food on Gleber is still same as business as usual, but it's a new implementation of it, and it's new style of enemy that has different tactics instead of just charge towards player and mob them and use mob tactics. Likewise, this is a really cool enemy. It isn't offensive towards you. It only cares about its territory, and it is only one to claim a territory wherever the territories are. Like, if I wanted this sulfur puddle here, would have to take out one demolisher, you know, a snacky boy here, and we get some other deposits here. Likewise, you know, expand to more stuff down here. There's 2 more patches. We'd have to deal with that demolisher. There's some purple stuff and some coal. 1 demolisher. I mean, you know, there's a little opening here, so you know, you can't go into this territory, so you'd have to run your trains around and through. It's really cool. You know, because normally you'd have to do just mass spider spawner killing to expand a territory. Look at that. There's 2 patches there. That's 2 demolisher kills right there, and you can snack around this territory. Like, you don't need to capture all the territories. You could slip a railway up through there and around and capture those 2 patches. I mean, Factorio player's gonna kill all of them, but you don't have to. You can strategically pick and choose your fights, because it doesn't matter. As long as you don't impede the territory or intrude on the territory, then it's fine. It's new, it's different. It's interesting. It's not just different for the sake of difference. I like it. Question? Answer? Would artillery auto-target demolishers? Not likely, because artillery auto-targets buildings, because spawners are buildings, whereas the demolisher is a unit. You could manually target it. I can't imagine. Being a headbutt boy, and again, the rocket's not doing anything. The implication is that artillery probably may not do anything. It's a rolling building. It's more of a train, I say. Only 31 days left before space age. After installing a speed module, it drops to 744 hours. Damn, it's still 31 days. Territory system is cool. It is. It is nice to, you know. It also helps with being spread across multiple planets to not have something that is, you know, constantly threading the base. It's something that can only attacks when you actively pushing out. Needed all landmines. Demolisher completely destroying the app. Imagine that on Navis. Sad to see the flying jelly enemies are out of the game. Ensuring they decide against enemies on the... What? I don't remember seeing that in the FFF. Train go choo choo, demolisher go chonk chonk or chomp chomp. More like I'm leaning on chonk chonk than chomp chomp, because it doesn't really seem to where's my train of thought gone? It's derailed. Not you. Or what would you call this? 'Cause it's not really it's not really chewing. It's just going squash squash. So I guess chonk chonk is correct. It's just. I like how it sort of starts going down the belt as well. By the conga. I mean, there was sort of the implication that the last planet wouldn't have enemies. It's more like screw you and your mining outpost. I'm a worm. And possibly a type of worm spoiled by land footage minimap, but never did I imagine to this scale they were essentially raid bosses. To be honest, it sounds like an epic challenge early game or mid game, but I'm not massive keen on the idea of getting OP to the point of killing them in seconds, since they have defined segments of territory and don't respawn. And rather, they scale and do multiple minutes of good strategy takedown. It feels like earned. So, did the FFF specifically say? Where did it say it? Or was it the prototyping? Did I miss something? The freezing planet... Oh, I did miss something. Yeah, the freezing planet had flying enemies. Among them were the jelly-like enemies from 367. However, since the enemies have been dropped from the game, the last planet had a delicate mix of challenging, and although we found a way to add enemies in a mixed interesting way, it would make progression much slower. It might be better as a mod. Okay, so I completely blanked out on that line, that paragraph there. Truth be told, confession bear time, I actually already knew that. I learned that at the LAN, that they were removed. I did also hear the explanation exactly why, and well, I know what the enemy was going to do and why, but I'll save that for the release. I'll save that for a month's time. If it doesn't, if someone doesn't explain it sooner. Game is not out yet, and I already spent half the time in creative. It's amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of design work to be done. Modus makes the snakes one section bigger for each time they eat a building. A release stream? Yes. I actually haven't decided how I want to do it, whether I start with a pre-built base. You know, like I do the first few hours in preparation for the release, and then I start with a base that already has the fundamentals, you know, it has some science done, has oil done, enough to start building a rocket, or have rockets ready to go to launch to the first planet. I haven't decided yet. You're down to 3.6. Since Exterm shows up for an hour in an 8-hour session, Mojo seems to have gone to Clever and the band. See, I have work to do, unfortunately. The problem is that you do it overnight, and then I have to work while you're doing your session, so I can't come there. Yeah, like, I don't want to spend the early game doing the same thing again. I would just do a bit of a an overview of what's needed for early game. But there's no point retreading the stuff that's already well done. You whip of them seismic distractor. Ah, interesting. Yeah, that's really nice. I do like the new enemy. It's as I say, it's fun, it's unique, it's interesting. It's all those things. Go up to blue science, and then does the new stuff start coming in? So the new stuff starts coming in once you get to the rocket stage. And the rocket, as been confirmed in a previous FFF, appears much earlier. Like, rocket control units has been removed from the game, and so, like, this entire build is redundant in Space Age. And instead, why aren't you connected? Because you're not a real power pole. Okay. I see how it is. There we go, that gets some construction done. Yeah. Yeah, I had a feeling the bots were itching for some work. Cliffs moved out of Navis. Oh, cliff explosives are moved out of Navis. Cliffs themselves are very much still there. Hello, autosave. Yeah, we saw the new terrain generation, which makes cliffs much less annoying, which is a plus. There we go. But you see the cliffs in Volcanus, on the other hand, are oppressive, to put it mildly. He's working on the starter base, of course. Trees. The trees are still the true enemy. Yep, that is definitely a thing. That can be confirmed still. Trees confirmed, the true enemy. Mod where you can trip if you walk too close to a cliff and actually die. It just drops you off the cliff. That's funny. Alright, we're a little... well, it's Friday, so it's fine. Otherwise, we would be a little over time. What have we got going on here? You are... my tingy that goes there. Like so. Eat. Eat. That's annoying. Yeah, you're on the same level. You turn up. You're on the same... oh, I think it's meant to do that. Or in actual fact, let me undo-tificate. There. So you are actually meant to go there. You're meant to go there. You're meant to go there. And then you're meant to go there. There we go. Now we're cooking with portals. What are those items I'm making for speed ones? They are called redundants. They are, in the ancient times, we used to have these things called, rocket control units. They're kind of like rocket defenses. They're very similar in nature to rocket defenses. You're not supposed to go there. But instead of being called rocket defenses, they're called rocket control units. They're like little mini rocket defenses. In ancient... oh yeah, in the Neolithic era, we had these things called alien goop. this is true. I suppose it was more classical era, and then rocket defense would have been... Whoop, that was terrible. Neolithic era was... or ancient times was the rocket defense. The true ancient times had a... the Cadillac. Vicor. Cool. So that is the first part of rocket production done. And again, what I'll do is just let the base run to actually build this stuff. So next time we come in, hopefully this will actually be built. I might need to pump up the production of things though, just to make sure it gets done. There you go. Alien Group and Alien Science Packs. Good old Alien Science Packs. There we go. Now they're going to build that. Just remember your introduction to Factorio was Will's old 30 UPS coal base. Oh, well, it's like 15 UPS on a bad day. 30 UPS on a good day. And it was by design too. Remember the first multiplayer tries with Will? Oh yeah. Did you see the very, very first time Will did multiplayer? I don't think many people remember that one. I think that was actually before my time too. It was in like version 13. It was before I was on team. My first one came in version 14 on the thingy map, the frontier map. That was my first time. I built the worst spaghetti for science. I started playing just before version 12 came out. So yeah, you would have been around. I think you were around the same. I remember seeing you not long after I started jumping on the whole Twitch thing. It's kind of... I don't even know how I got onto the whole live streaming thing. I don't remember. I got it Christmas 2015. First was Bob Angels. Well, that's one way to introduce it. Alright, we need a little bit of radar on the situation. That didn't really help. The thing that I don't remember is what got me on the live streams, because I was very much not a live stream person. I remember seeing stuff back in like 2011, and I didn't care for it. Cookie Gamer TV. That's a familiar name. That That name sounds familiar. I always forget, you used to be DXP. Same with Made of Tin. Every time Made of Tin comes in with his new name because he lost the other one, I always forget. Yeah, make it consistent. Oh, the decon timed out. TV. I had an underscore at the end. That was the only difference for me. And then partner meant that I was able to remove... Like, I wasn't allowed to not have an underscore for some reason. Like, it was too few character... Yeah, it was... I needed the underscore to get the character number... character count up. Ooh, a Michelle. And then that limit was removed, partner. Anyway, I need to end. So I'm going to park it there for today.